It's Friday the 12th of March and welcome to the Breakfast Show. I'm your host Mark Anthony. Before we begin, usual celebrity birthdays, I'd like to say a very happy birthday to singers Eliza Minnelli and to James Taylor. I see fire and I see rain, but that's global warming for you, I guess. Also like to wish my mate Phil Hayden a belated happy birthday for yesterday. Sorry I missed it, Phil. We'll be right back with the news headlines after this.
If you enjoyed this show, please consider supporting us. Go to buymeacoffee.com/Demolition News.
And we start with the news that John Lynch of Newline Group up in the Midlands has today officially announced that he is to stand for the position of second vice president of the National Federation of Demolition Contractors here in the UK. John Lynch is a passionate defender of and a vocal advocate for the NFDC, as you can see in my exclusive interview with him over on demolitionnews.com. And if you look below this video, you'll find a link to that video as well. Despite all of that, John Lynch clearly believes that the NFDC requires a degree of modernisation if it is to meet the challenges of the future. He's also expressed a desire for greater transparency and to provide NFDC members with greater value in return for their subscriptions. We understand that he will be standing against Ryan Noon of Howard Stott. May the best man win, I guess. I normally reserve my comments for the end of the show, but I thought I needed to make this one clear. Despite the fact that I filmed a video with John yesterday, I have no skin in this game. I've said before, as far as I'm concerned, the NFDC, at least as it stands today, is like the moon. It influences the industry tide, but it's cold and it's distant, at least it is for me. However, I do work very closely with one trade organisation. I regularly brush up against two more, and I'm kept at arm's length by several more after that. And each of them, I think, faces the same challenges of remaining relevant while providing value for their members. I know a lot of trade associations tend to build their reputations and their engagement on live events and physical events, seminars and conferences and that kind of thing, which obviously has gone by the board a little bit of late. So remaining relevant, I think, is an important one, and I think that's maybe where John Lynch's strengths will come to bear. He's already proved his willingness to fight for members in securing a £1,000 training credit, which again is in the video. I do believe that if it's allowed to happen, his scrutiny of the Federation expenditure would ensure that members get the best possible return for their subscription buck. But as I say, it's got not a great deal to do with me. So, as I said before, may the best man win. Now, there does seem to be an incredible amount of surveys taking place at the moment, and while I'm convinced that some of them are produced merely to justify the existence of a PR company or a marketing department, this one does make for interesting and thankfully optimistic reading. Despite the COVID-19 pandemic, 85% of construction firms say they feel positive about their prospects for the year ahead. That's according to a new survey from accountancy and business advisory company BDO. While acknowledging the ongoing economic challenges, 2/3 of construction industry respondents said they expected revenues to rise over the next 12 months, with over half saying they expected profits to rise. While construction output fell dramatically in early 2020 at the time of the first lockdown, the sector has since rebounded strongly, due in part to the easing of restrictions and a buoyant housing market. The buoyant housing market obviously is something that we refer to on a regular basis with our monthly business briefing shows. Contrary to expectations, insolvencies in the construction sector fell by 27% in 2020 versus the previous year, as government incentives and support schemes help prevent business failures. I think that's a really interesting note. I think a lot of people were predicting a great swathe of industry insolvencies when the lockdown first started, and based on that, it didn't happen. While the high level of optimism for the year ahead suggests that the businesses have a secure order book in the short term, BDO's survey also highlights a number of longer-term challenges. Almost half of all respondents reported that skilled labour shortages were one of their top 3 operational concerns for the year ahead. Many also reported ongoing issues with lowballing to win tenders, over-trading risks and weak cash flow, which raises concern that insolvencies may start to rise when COVID-related government support begins to wind down. Now, it seems that no self-respecting equipment company these days can survive without some kind of telematics offering to allow owners and operators to monitor performance remotely. And the latest to join that fray is hydro demolition pioneer Aquajet, which has just unveiled Aquajet Online, a cloud-based system for equipment tracking, real-time diagnostics, data collection, and analytics. Aquajet Online apparently is accessible via a computer or a smartphone and provides owners, operators and project stakeholders with a digital toolkit to maximise safety, security, productivity and machine utilisation. Aquajet Online is our answer to Industry 4.0, said Roger Simonson, Aquajet Managing Director. Location, efficiency and automatic features for your entire fleet are available at the touch of a button. The system controls and monitors key functions through a user-friendly digital platform and provides actionable data, not just raw numbers, to help customers make positive changes for their business. Aquajet Online tracks all registered machines in a list or on a map with GPS position for easy planning and deployment. The interface also reports serial number, active alarms, auto status, runtime, auto time, and fuel levels and temperature in real time. I think one of the things I find interesting about that is this reference to providing stakeholders with information. I think that will be a step in a whole new direction. We're quite used to providing this sort of telematics information to the owner of the machine and to the operator of the machine, and sometimes often to the dealers of the machine as well. Providing it to stakeholders as well, so that they can monitor remotely exactly what's happening potentially on their sites and that kind of thing. I think that is a new departure and it's an interesting one. Finally for today, word reaches us very last minute that Bugler Developments is seeking to build 65 residential units in Acton in West London, which is no great news in itself, but first they need a company to demolish a pub that currently sits on the site, which obviously is news for those of the demolition fraternity. The site is located at 130 East Acton Lane. You can find out more. You can find more leads like this actually by joining the Builders Conference, the only market intelligence provider that we trust here at Demolition News Towers. That just about wraps up 3 full weeks of back-to-back daily news shows. It's ironic, I think, when I first started Demolition News, 14 years ago or thereabouts, I was hoping and praying to have enough industry news to update the site maybe once or even twice a week. Now here we are with enough news to drive a daily news show. I've got to be honest, that's not the only time I've underestimated the level of demand. About 3 years ago, I told my youngest son that our channel on Instagram would peak at around 20,000 followers. As of this morning, it now has 135,000 followers, and it's growing faster than it has in months. So just goes to prove what a lot of you have probably suspected for quite some time, that basically I know nothing. Right, I don't know about you, but I've got some work to be getting on with. So have a good day, stay safe, look after yourselves, your family, your friends and your colleagues. And I will see you again on Monday, same time, same place. In the meantime, thanks for watching.